If money is your hope for security, you'll never have it. This is a paraphrase from the quote from Dr. Ford. What Dr. Ford said was, if money is your hope for independence, you will never have it. The only real security that a man can have in this world is a reserve of knowledge, experience, and ability. Now, the reason why I said if money is your hope for security, you'll never have it. The reason I say this is because most people put their security in physical objects, and physical objects can be taken away. It can be took at any moment. Physical objects that you have can be took at any second. So therefore, there is no real security. If I can come along and you think you own something, and I come along, you think you own something with a piece of paper or something that the bank or something, let's say you don't even pay your taxes on it. You don't pay your taxes on your house. Guess what? The bank come and take the house from you. It's not yours. So that mental thing that you had attached to that physical object can be took. Money, cars, clothes, all of it can be took. Right? So this is why the first point I really want to make is internal security. That cannot be took. Now, I understand why here before he said knowledge, experience, and ability, because those things can't be took. Knowledge is invisible. You can't touch knowledge. You can't touch experience. You can't touch ability, right? Like a physical object. These things are mental. These things are mental products. So mental products or invisible products, things that life can't touch. You can't take these things. Moth or rust cannot corrupt these things. So these are the ideals and the things you need to start to gravitate towards. Developing things money cannot buy. I talk about this a lot. You need to develop a certain inner security, understanding that God is the only source. God is the only true source. But you have to understand, if God is a security, your mind will enable you to believe in God. Your mind will enable you to believe in that source of security, which is why I talk about the mind a lot. Because most people don't even have the belief to even believe that God is a source of security. A lot of people walk through earth, but how am I do this? How am I do that? Just putting worry on everything. What are you worrying for? You need to sit down, you need to meditate, you need to control your mind. So I talk a lot about the mind, because most problems in life, even Marcus Aurelius said, is perception. You are in control of how you think, right? That's why I say there is objective truth, and everybody knows that there's an objective truth, right? Let's say objective truth is something bad that just happened. Something bad just happened in your life, right? That's objective truth. But you can, for your benefit of you, so you won't allow yourself further suffering, you can say, you know what, this bad thing was a benefit for me. I can help myself get to the next level. Mental perception. You are in control of how you think. So you need to understand that God is a form of security, and spiritual is the only form of security. Remember, things that are spiritual are things that are invisible. Everything in this room right now first started as spiritual. It's not jargon either. I'm about to prove with absolute fact. I'm about to prove it. If everything that's invisible is spiritual, this means we can't first see it. That means our thoughts are spiritual, right? If our thoughts are spiritual, because it's invisible, we can't see thoughts. Somebody can't slice open our head and see our thoughts in our brain. So thoughts are spiritual because they're invisible. Now, if thought is spiritual, then everything in here was created by a thought. Somebody thought these things into existence. These ideas. These things were first invisible and then put into a physical form. So everything in here, around me, around you, was first a thought. So it's spiritual. Now, why am I making this point? It's to show that spiritual is the only practical thing that's real. The only thing that's practical is spiritual. I remember telling someone a solution to their problem. I told somebody, I was telling them about the universal laws. I believe God created universal laws. I don't think, this is my personal philosophy, you can call it. Everybody may think different. That's perfectly fine. But I think that God created universal laws. I think God created universal truths. And, we talk about the universe and law of attraction and all those things. I think God created those things. I don't view those things as something evil. I think it's a tool to be used. So when it comes to that universal laws, I was telling someone, look, go learn about the law of compensation. Go look into the law of compensation. And then I remember it was like, well, how's that going to work right now? See, this is what we have to learn about universal laws. Universal laws are fixed in place, whether you know it or not. You're currently using them now. The law of compensation I was trying to explain is what you give out, you receive back. When people go work a job, they're putting out effort into the universe and receiving money and wages back. When people get online and create, they put out things into the universe and they receive attention. So the point I was trying to make is that everything is spiritual. Spiritual is the only thing real. It's the only thing that's practical. This is why I know I can do anything, because I can sit down with a fundamental basis of truths of saying, okay, what is true? If I wanted to learn a certain skill, I would sit and say, okay, what is true? Okay, well, I know that God is true. I know that my thoughts is true. I know God gave me a thoughts in mind. So, okay, if I want to learn this skill, what else is true? Well, repetition. When you do more repetition, when you do more reps, you get better. So this is how I approach everything with absolute objective truth. First, you have to get this. You can call it first principles. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because money is a physical tool. Money is an amplifier. It's not going to give you a sense of security. The sense of security comes from your mind. You believing that the money is that. So you need to switch and say, you know what, God is my source of security. Because the more you put money as your source of security, well, as I said, as soon as the money is gone, you have no security then. And I can put this into a lesson I've learned out in the wilderness. I went out to the wilderness and I fasted. I left everything behind. I literally went out to the wilderness and fasted in a tent. I didn't bring no money. I didn't bring no food. I didn't bring no water. I didn't bring nothing, right? And I went out to this tent and I fasted out in the wilderness. And I believe God was with me the whole time. I believed that God was with me. And randomly one day, I felt a sign from God. God was telling me like, okay, now it's time to go back. And on my time going back, preparing to go back, I haven't even went back yet. God sent people out there to bring me food and money. Randomly, I'm in this random village. I'm in this random wilderness place. I'm telling you, it's pure woods. I'm in this random wilderness place. God sent people out there randomly on the time when it was time for me to go back. How did these people know I needed food? How did these people know I needed money? Now, a lot of people are thinking of this in a certain way because everybody, they might not have been God. It might just been coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in universal law. I believe in truth. I believe in truth. So the reason I pointed that out, the reason I taught that lesson, it showed me that internal security. It showed me that I can be anywhere without money, without finances, God, or whatever I had inside of me that God placed inside of me. I knew I was going to be able to use it wherever I was. Now, I'm not trying to be a preacher. I'm telling you, I'm not. I'm just pointing it out. I'm not trying to be a preacher. I'm just simply making a point. Money is a physical tool. It's an amplifier. It does not change who you are. When you take that money away from you, where's your security? If you put your trust in that house, if you put your trust in that money, if you put your trust in that cars and clothes, you put your trust in those things pass away. I don't trust a single thing. I only trust one thing, God himself. I don't trust no man. Curses the man who put his trust in man to make flesh his strength. So one of the last points I want to make is knowledge, experience, and ability. Those things are invisible. And I'll talk a lot about wisdom and insight in those things. I talk about these things because they can't be took. Knowledge can't be took. Knowledge genuinely can't be took. That's why I say store up your treasures in heaven. Heaven, you have to understand, is spiritual, is invisible. You can't see it with the physical eye. Like, so that's why the treasures of it is different. People keep thinking it's always a monetary physical reward. Oh, it has to be a monetary physical reward. Sometimes, yes, it is. But also it says some of the treasures is invisible. Peace, power, righteousness, all these things. So a lot of people don't even have peace. A lot of people don't have these things because they're seeking physical treasure. That's why nobody understands. Most of the rewards it cannot be seen. See, I know a lot of people, I remember it was a parable of fig tree, but it was a different parable. I don't think it was called fig tree, but it was a parable. I think it was Matthew 13, 6 through 9. I remember my mother was reading it. I just happened to hear her reading it. I was like, man, that's a good one. We got to look up the meaning to that one. Start looking up the meaning, and I reread it. And it was talking about how it was a tree or bush or whatever. It had been growing no fruit for 3 years. Said for 3 years, I'll come and there's no fruit. Somebody was telling, man, tear that tree down. It's just taking up space. And then the dude was like, man, I'm going to give it another year. I'm going to dig around it. I'm going to give it another year. And if it don't work for another year, if it don't produce fruit for another year, then we're going to dig it up. Let he who has ears, if you understand, I want you to know what do you take from that? Everybody have a different interpretation. Obviously, there's a objective interpretation, right? But I want to know your subjective interpretation. What do you think it means? I want to let you let me know in the comments, anybody. But it was very, very good because with these parables, you can apply these things in your life. A lot of you are going through a period like that. I can pull out a lesson from it right now. A lot of you going through a period of 3 years of work, you haven't seen anything. You haven't seen anything, and people coming to you and saying, man, where your fruit at? That's why I said it's invisible. Growth is invisible. You're receiving fruits nobody can see. The fruits that nobody can see. You may not even understand some of the tribulations you're going through had to develop your mind to get you to a certain point. But yet you still looking around, where's my money? Where's the money at? Where's this and that? God had to put you, I sound like a preacher. But I mean, we can say God or we can say life. But to develop yourself as a man, or we can say as a man, we can bring it down to a physical level. You have to go through hardship to even get better. You have to go through hardship to get better. Things had to get destroyed for you to get better. Your old mindset had to get destroyed for you to even start to make the money or try and build the business or whatever, get a new job or whatever you want to do. Your current mindset has to be destroyed. Some things has to be destroyed. You have to think differently for things to happen. So that's the point of going within. I don't want this to sound like spiritual jargon. And my mentor say that a lot. It'd be funny. This ain't. He would say this is real talk. No, for real, this is real talk. This is not spiritual jargon. This is absolute real. That you have to go through things to develop. To get to that point, a lot of people want stuff without the work ethic. It even talk about this in the book of Proverbs. I know I'm sounding like I'm just preaching, but I'm not. I really just love wisdom. I just love wisdom. I just love ancient wisdom. That's why I even read Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad. I read all these people, but I'm very selective about what to intake and what not to intake. But I just like the wisdom of it. It was talking about the point I'm trying to make. People want things without the work ethic. It's good you have the belief that you can get it, but you need the physical work ethic as well. In Proverbs 26:13, it said the lazy uses excuse. Well, I wrote this and said this. It's not the exact quote, but I wrote and said the lazy use excuses. He says something is in the way because it was talking about it said the slothful man says there's a lion in the way. What it's really saying is the lazy uses excuses as something in his way. Oh, I have to wait to this. Oh, I have to wait till I get a gym membership to start working out. Or I have to wait till I have to do this. I have to wait till I have to lose weight to do this to start this. Or I have to wait till I get smarter to do this. No, that's not how it works. You develop as time go on. That's the whole point. The whole point is to try and fail and learn from your failures and try again until you finally win. Feedback. It's like AI learning machine. You put AI in a certain parameters, you feed it certain things, and then you let it bump its head against certain parameters and then it get feedback and learn. That's how it betters itself. And I truly think, I'm going on a tangent, but it all connects to my point. AI is a concept of a human brain. I don't care what nobody say. AI is a concept of the human brain, of what the human brain could be at its max capacity. I guarantee you they modeled it out of the human brain. How we learn, how we sit and learn, get all this feedback, and we can recall unlimited stuff inside of our mind from childhood. Like certain hypnosis, certain hypnotists can sit up and sit people down and interrogate them, and they can bring up old stuff from childhood of something that happened. Or they can sit down in a police interrogation and CIA meetings and have people recall certain events that happened, rename the license plates of what you've seen. This is the power of the mind. It's the power of the mind. So the mind, I truly believe, is a mechanism, is a direct source to everything in life. I think the mind connects us to the spiritual. I think the mind connects us to the physical, because that's truly what I believe. And I believe that gives me power as well. And that is why you need to shift from making money your security to now things that are invisible. Because I was talking about rebuilding everything from scratch. Everything that I lost and whatever. Rebuilding everything from scratch. New physical everything. I want a new physical body. I want a new Instagram. I want a new YouTube. I want a new TikTok. I want a new everything. New channels, new forms of different distribution, new businesses. I say I want to restart everything from scratch. But you start with what you have, and what you have is invisible. If everything physical in your life was took away right now, what would you have left? You have invisible things that you gained over time. Your knowledge, your experiences, all of these things that's inside of your mind is the only thing that you will have when you rebuild this new stuff. That's why when everything physical is took, mental things, invisible things, spiritual things cannot be took. This is not spiritual jargon. I'm trying to tell you the truth here. Most of you still wouldn't get the truth. Most of you gonna watch this video and don't get nothing from it. Most of you is already clicking off the video, already on to the next one. Nobody even took notes. So you know where to find me. Link is in the description. If you actually listen to some of this, link is in the description. I'll see you there.